Ready? Start. The problem on Sunday within bracket October 6, 2024 bracket close did not really start after the show. Indications of what might happens were apparent from 8:30 a.m. itself when a huge crowd turned out at Velachery railway station to reach the beach to witness the air show. By the end of the show, though, the problem was blown up many times more as the lack of a proper exit strategy put lakhs of members of the public through great distress. While the entry was regulated with bus services dropping people off at the venue and people coming in at staggered timings, the exit strategy was missing except for VIP and VVIP vehicles, as was apparent to anyone on the beach. Once the show was over, the police personnel were busy regulating VIP vehicles, barricading the route that was being taken by these vehicles. So, the moment people were allowed to move, there was a massive surge as lakhs of people came on to Kamaraj Salai from the beach in one go. There were no arrangements made to ferry them out of Kamaraj Salai to different points in the city, as this correspondent observed while trying to make his way out with his family members. Exit points were few. The usual entry points were all blocked and not opened in time to allow the crowd to disperse fast. So the crowd moved as one, jostling against each other with the heat and humidity of the afternoon and the non availability of water making things worse. A number of people could be seen sinking by the side of the road, fainting from the heat, exhaustion, or feeling claustrophobic in the crashing crowd. Since the private vehicles were restricted, there was no transport option to get back. The only options were the MRTS, which is nearer, and the metro, which is far away from the beach. The trains ran on the usual Sunday pattern and had no plan for extra services to cater to the lakhs of people who were expected on the beach. A number of people descended on the MRTS train stations in Triple Cane or Lighthouse or Chipok located nearby, since there were no feeder bus services. It took 2 hours to reach from Vivekananda Elm to Triplicane Station on foot, and as fresh batches of people arrived, others ran out from the station saying there were no trains. These led to more chaos. If people who reached the platform and a train finally appeared, most of them found it difficult to board the train, which was already overcrowded. Disappointed over not getting into the train, some people started walking on the track. Stop. Ready? Start. At the time of death of their mother and children were left in the custody of their paternal grandparents with whom their father is staying, and the attempt of the respondent number 1 was to alter that position before the application filed by them is considered by the family court. For this purpose, it was very relevant to consider whether leaving the minor children in custody of their father till the family court decided the matter would be so detrimental to the interest of the minors that their custody should be changed forthwith. The observations that the father is facing a criminal case, that he mostly resides in USA, and that it is alleged that he is having an affair with another lady are, in our view, not sufficient to come to the conclusion that custody of the minors should be changed immediately. What is important for us to note from these observations is that the court shall determine whether, in proceedings relating to interim custody, there are sufficient and compelling reasons to persuade the court to change the custody of the minor children with immediate effect. Stability and consistency in the affairs and routines of children is also an important consideration, as was held by this court in another decision cited by the learned counsel for the plant. We are convicted that the discolation of Satpal at this stage from Allahabad, where he has grown up in sufficiently good surroundings, would not only impede his schooling, it may also cause emotional strain and depression on him. After taking note of the marked reluctance on part of the boy to live with his mother, the court further observed, under these circumstances and bearing in mind the paramount consideration of the welfare of the child, we are convinced that child's interest and welfare will be best served if he continues to be in the custody of the father. In our opinion, for the present, it is not desirable to disturb the custody of Master Satpal, and therefore the order of the High Court giving his exclusive custody to the father with vegetation right to the mother deserves to be maintained. The children have been in the lawful custody of the respondents from October 2007. In the case of Rajpal Singh versus Sumesh Nagpal, it was argued before this court by the council that welfare of child should be seen. Stop.